How rare and wondrous it is to have been born into human life, and now I live it. How rare and wondrous it is to be able to listen to the Buddha Dharma, and now I am able to hear it. If I do not transcend the world of delusion in this life, when will I ever attain spiritual liberation? May I, along with the entire Sangha, with sincere heart and mind, rely on that which can be truly relied on in life, the three treasures. I rely on the Buddha. May I, along with all sentient beings, awaken to the great path with my entire being and discover the highest aspiration, which is to become a Buddha. I rely on the Dharma. May I, along with all sentient beings, deeply reflect on the meaning of the sutras and gain wisdom that is as deep and vast as the ocean. I rely on the Sangha. May I, along with all sentient beings, become one Sangha of life, able to move forward and live with a dynamic spirit that is hindered by nothing. The unsurpassed, deep, and wondrous Dharma, even in millions of kalpas, is extremely difficult to encounter, but now I am able to experience and embrace it. May I come to understand and revere the true meaning of the Tathagata. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. I am Minister Assistant David Hopper from the Las Vegas Buddhist Sangha, and I'm here today on April 12th, 2020, Hanamatsuri. Happy Buddha's Day. Unfortunately, we're all trapped in our homes under quarantine and cannot go for our regular services, whether it be for Easter, Hanamatsuri, or whatever. We're social distancing. And so I'm here in my home with my iPhone trying to put together a Dharma talk that I hope you'll find somewhat comforting and useful on this special day. I thought it would be appropriate to discuss the Four Noble Truths and why that would help us feel gratitude for the coronavirus, despite all of the awful things that we've heard about it, and apply the principles that Buddha taught us in his first teachings of the Four Noble Truths. The first one states that dukkha is part of life. Dukkha is translated as difficulty, struggle, suffering, and other terms, but illness and death are part of all life. This problem comes when we're not living in accord with the truth of impermanence and interdependence. And I know we've all heard that many times through many Dharma talks. And as such, though, that means that this coronavirus pandemic cannot last forever. It is impermanent as well, so it too will end. The pandemic is created by living as if we are independent rather than interdependent. We are all connected to one another, and the more we lose sight of that, the more we create this difficulty for ourselves in life. The second noble truth states pretty much that dukkha is caused by cravings, desire, and attachment. The delusions of self-importance expressed through greed, anger, and ignorance, the three poisons, are the cause of this difficulty or dukkha. Ignorance leads to fear caused by the unknown. That's the greatest fear, is the unknown. And it seems like everybody asks me, when is this going to end? And the important thing is to focus on doing what you can to end it and come out of it as well as possible for yourself and others around you. But several people, when I said nothing lasts forever, they find those words very comforting, which is simply a statement of impermanence. So I think it's important to keep in mind these Four Noble Truths as you're dealing with it, because it helps keep you grounded. It helps make you feel more secure. When we become self-centered and selfish, we actually become at greater risk of getting infected by the coronavirus. By focusing on me, I, if everything is all about me and I, we become greedy and oblivious to the world around us. Question to think about is, are we living as a bucket of crabs, every man for himself, or are we living as a community where everyone is interconnected? When our expectations are not met, we become angry. Do you do something out of kindness, or do you expect some kind of payment or reward for your deed? If you expect to be rewarded and don't get it, you will become disappointed and angry. Who and what is important here? The third noble truth is to eliminate dukkha. It comes through the transformation of greed, anger, ignorance, and delusion. Attachment to our delusions of self-importance leads to difficulty through these three poisons. When you put yourself above all others, you may believe yourself to be successful and happy, but the only way you can continue this life is through delusions. When you are driven by greed, you will not be well liked by others. It becomes easier to maintain this behavior with other delusions, such as, I am not doing anything wrong because I'm not breaking any laws. You justify your false beliefs. Others are doing it, so why can't I? A lot of justification. So when we get angry, we justify our anger with statements like, they are making me angry. They are doing this to me. They are causing my problems. Rather than owning responsibility and seeing things as they truly are. The fourth noble truth is the medicine prescribed by Buddha, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. The first one is the right view. For every negative with the pandemic, there is a positive that can be said. For example, negative statement is people are getting sick and dying from the virus. And that's a true statement. But a positive statement would be this isolation is saving lives, it's improving health, and it's actually reducing pollution. There are many, many, many benefits that we're learning about the way we're living, the way we're destroying our environment, and how we're impacting our health and creating these pandemics for ourselves by taking the proper actions. So the positives are all of the things that we're learning from this, rather than just look at the negative side of it alone. So when you're able to see both the positive and the negative, then you're taking the middle road, which is what Buddha taught us to take. Don't go the extreme routes. Don't live in the fantasy world where everything is wonderful and there's nothing bad at all, but don't look at the negatives and be 100% negative. Those are two extremes. You need to be able to balance the positives and the negatives and take the middle road. Nothing at all in this world is 100% bad or 100% good. It's a balance. And what you do is you make the positives work for you. That is what's empowering. That's what gives you the power and the strength to to move forward in the right direction. The second path is the right thought. Thoughts of sharing, helping others, improving relationships, enjoying the isolation, etc., is the right way to think. Not anger, hatred, or violent thoughts. Third is right speech. Criticizing people or their mistakes, or people that don't do what you want them to, leave you stuck in the problem. Instead, empower yourself by being solution-oriented. Fourth, right conduct. Perform good deeds that promote peace and goodwill. You will be much better for it. You will receive much more positive rewards than if you behave in a greedy, angry fashion. The fifth one, right livelihood. Earn your living in a way that does not cause difficulty for others. For example, buying toilet paper for $1 a roll and selling it for $10 a roll to profit off of the pandemic is harmful not only to yourself, but to the others. The sixth is the right energy. Use your energies to overcome ignorance and destructive desires. Learn about the coronavirus so you can avoid getting sick or infecting others. Figure out ways to help others during social isolation rather than spending all of your energy worrying and being frustrated by the obstacles. The seventh path is the right mindfulness. Be aware of all that others are doing to help each other. Be grateful for all those who are risking getting sick so that they may help others, including yourself, survive, which includes medical personnel, police, firefighters, EMTs, even grocery and pharmacy employees, and many others that we must rely on to be out there for us. A grateful mind does not suffer and is able to help others. It is important to be mindful of everything you do. And the eighth path is right meditation. It is easy to get overloaded with all the news and disruptions in our lives from the pandemic. But in order to find answers easier, mindfulness meditation will help bring us peace of mind and answers to the problems that may be cluttering our mind. Answers come to us faster and easier when our mind is relaxed and open. Meditating on Buddhist teachings can bring us greater wisdom and understanding than when we try too hard to concentrate and force answers to happen. And finally, Buddha told the parable of the arrow to help us ease our suffering in a crisis. Picture yourself walking through a forest when you're suddenly hit by an arrow. It hurts something terrible, and you're in a lot of pain and suffering. Can you avoid the second arrow? Buddha said, in life, we cannot always control the first arrow. However, the second arrow is our reaction to the first. And with the second arrow comes the possibility of choice. Instead of reactions, allow yourself to experience and explore your emotions without judgment or fear. Let go of your past expectations and see the situation as it truly is. Respond rather than react by following the Four Noble Truths as I just summarized for you in this Dharma talk. I think if you follow these basic guidelines from the Four Noble Truths, you will find much comfort, much strength, and empowerment in the teachings of the Buddha while we're experiencing this pandemic. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please sing along to the Gatha, I am a link in the golden chain. link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. May I be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. May I think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.